good. How are you?
I'm good too. I'm good too.
It's lovely to see you.
Thank you so much. This is our first time on camera, so I'm only doing it because it's FPS. Yeah, to be
That's
honest.
really sweet of you,
Yeah.
and we really, really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you so
Super
much.
happy to have you on board.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
How's it been? How are you doing? What's up?
It's
कैसा
been
चल रहा है सब?
great. It's been great actually. It's been 3 years now, or more than 3 years actually, 3.5 years since I've been doing this. And of course, it was a huge career switch for me because before this, I was actually in the education sector only for the longest time. I think I started teaching from the age of 19. I think I was in my second year of uni, and I used to teach language, literature, history. And then also, I went on to do my degree, especially my master's in international development
Oh,
and
wow.
emerging economies.
It's quite another tangent.
I know. And then I came back and I was working in the education sector. But then finally, I feel like when COVID hit, I decided that I should give this a shot. And I didn't want to let go of teaching completely because, of course, that was my safe space. And I just wanted to test it out if this works out for me or if it doesn't. I was actually too scared and apprehensive also because I feel like when you've invested that much in terms of financially also,
And
in
also
terms
time,
of time
right?
also,
Yeah,
like
effort.
I feel like 10 years or something that you've just been in one sector, and also the burden that comes with it, that right, like you've done so much and you've done an entire degree in international development and stuff like that. You worked in the field for so long, and then initially you're very like apprehensive about what people are going to say.
True, that's true.
That that's such a career switch. And of course, like makeup for a lot of people, especially back in the day, now of course like the perspective has really changed, but it was considered a little superficial as compared to other fields and not that stable. So of course, taking that leap was really hard because when I started makeup, I was actually juggling between makeup and teaching also. And then, of course, I was scared because I couldn't focus on both the things
either,
at once.
right? Yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, fine, but I don't want to let go of teaching because what if this doesn't work out?
No,
The funny story is that even when I wanted to start makeup, the only way that I actually launched was because I had ordered all my stock, but I still wouldn't launch because I was so scared.
And when is this?
This was like back in 2021. I had just gotten
so COVID.
married. Yeah, COVID. And then my sister was just like, she would just be like, acha, order this. And then honestly, you know why I launched? Because I was so guilty that I had everything and I still wasn't doing it. But alhamdulillah, of course, the response was so great that I just decided to like completely and solely focus on this only and
Must
let
have
go
been a
of
tough
everything.
decision, right?
Yeah, it was a tough decision because, of course, there are a lot of questions when you're starting out also, that are you sure, and you know you've done this all your life and itni mehnat ki hai, and you know you're really made for teaching, why this? But honestly, I had a great support system, especially with my family and friends, and also because they knew I was really passionate about this. I was around like 15 when I actually started makeup. So the thing is, if there was a wedding in the family, or if there was a wedding within our friend circle, before every event, my friends would just come over to my place and I would do their makeup.
Yeah, you were the go-to.
Yeah, I was always the go-to. And they were like, oh, you know, you're so good. Why don't you do this? But we were so young back then. And again, back in the day, you were just like, acha, okay, fine. Am I really meant for this? And then, you know, they would just come over and I would get them ready and then they would leave. And then it was just a process that, you know, every time there was something, then I was the one doing it. And then I feel like that also gave me a lot of confidence. And that's actually how it started. Like my friends were my first clients. So, and I mean, like, I do give my network and my circle a lot of credit for where I am today, because I feel like that's what really helped. And coming back to FPS, I feel like that was that network that got me here. And I feel like the friendships that I invested in, this kind of circle that we had and how it grew. And I feel like still like majority of my clients are my friends.
That's
so
amazing.
I feel like, yeah, I feel
It's
like
like
that
family,
really,
right?
Yeah, that really helps also. And that's what gives you the confidence, because of course, when you're working with people who you trust, who have supported you on this journey, of course, you get that creative freedom also with them. And then, of course, they are always putting the word out there for you also. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, like that's how it started and that's how it's going right now as
No,
well
no,
for
that
me.
bilkul nahi, that
Yeah.
sounds amazing. And also the journey that you're telling us, it's so intriguing how you're saying you switched from teaching to this, and then in
Yeah.
between you were just mentioning how you,
Hardcore.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you could take us through that, जैसे अगर हम पहले जाते हैं, so you graduated,
Yeah.
you did your bachelor's, and then you started teaching again. अगर आप, you know, if you can break it down into a timeline, what was that like?
So I feel like I think I started uni in 2012 and I started teaching end of 2013 to 14.
So it's been a while.
So it's been a while. And so basically I started tutoring.
Okay.
And I was doing my undergrad and I was tutoring on the side. And that was very rewarding, to be honest. So I was really comfortable. It was honestly great money at that time because you're 18 and you're earning. So of course. And then, of course, after that, when I left for my master's, I went to London. I went to King's College London, and then I did my master's in emerging economies and international development. So the biggest challenge when I was coming back, and I had to move back to Karachi. My mom's a single parent. I lost my dad when I was 10 years old. So the plan was always to just be back home.
With her.
Yeah, with her. And the biggest struggle for me was that all the development-oriented workplaces were actually based in Islamabad.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really make the move. So, of course, like the only place that I was really like thinking about was TCF, and that's where I started. So I was their curriculum development specialist for English language. It was very rewarding, to be honest. Those 2 years were extremely rewarding because, you know, even here in Karachi, you don't realize you're in a bubble. So we would go to all of these places and we would realize that, you know, what the obstacles are in terms of education, how there are kids who want to go to school but can't because schools are not accessible to them, especially in those spaces, and TCF was catering to that. And of course, like we developed frameworks for these kids. So yeah, overall it was very rewarding. But unfortunately, I feel like I don't even think I had a burnout, but I just had the urge to like start something myself. And at this time, when I had got back, I was still catering to my tuitions. So I was working 12 hours a day. So I was always doing two things.
So you came back to what you like doing, which is teaching.
Yeah, which was teaching. And with that, then 2020, I got married, and that's when I decided that, okay, maybe like TCI was a stepping stone. And then after that, you know, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, but that wasn't really a break too because I was still teaching. The thing is that I feel like I just experienced a burnout of all sorts where I was like, I wanted a really formal structure to what I do. And now I feel like I was 27 at that time, and it was just that I just need something that I'm really passionate about, which is really rewarding in terms of what I do. And also like I wanted my creativity to like flow. And that's when it hit me that I've been doing this for such a long time, why can't I start? And of course, there were a lot of questions in the beginning that how are you going to make this switch?
Was it your family asking those questions?
Family, yeah, of course, because they were worried. And it was really sweet of my husband because he made this entire office situation for me at home so I could actually teach kids. So that's what turned into my studio. Because that's where I started. It was at home only at first. I would teach kids there, and then we completely like switched it up to a studio. And that's when I realized when I was doing, and then when I started makeup, I was doing that and I was teaching because I was too scared to let go of either. Because this was working, but is it going to like sustain me throughout the year? Because at first, the whole concept is that makeup, and especially this industry, is very seasonal.
Of course.
But actually it's not. Because the time that you don't have work, you're actually investing into your work in a way. You're pretty busy with the bookings. You're thinking about what content to roll out. You're thinking about what products to introduce. So I feel like your entire year goes into it. That's when I realized that this is not seasonal. Yeah, it's a little seasonal for me because I'm starting new. I had to take the leap, and that was one of the scariest things that I've had to do.
You're doing amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
See, the idea, how beautifully you've told your story. I think you've tried everything that you were passionate about. You tried, tested all of that. And for you to be coming to
Yeah.
this point, I feel you always had that creative knack in you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when did you think, that you realized it? Okay, this is something. इस पे कुछ कर सकता है. I can make a career out of something creative. When did that hit you? What was that like?
I think that was when I was very little only. So it's so funny, but even when we were in FPS, I would like get scolded by Mr. Obaba because I would have that lip tint on and I would have that kajal on and like messy hair and stuff. And she used to be like, "What is this? Take that off." I used to love makeup, and that also comes from my mom because my mom loves makeup. So I've
Yeah.
grown up seeing her do makeup no matter what the situation is. So I've always been really, really attracted to it, and it has been a focal point in my life because I genuinely feel in terms of creativity also creativity is very therapeutic.
Yeah.
So everything else was just burning me out and I just needed something that I can enjoy, but I needed to monetize it also. So when you think of that you're also pursuing a passion, then you need to create a model that is also of course benefiting you financially. It can't just be a passion project.
True.
And it's still kind of like I get a little offended because there's sometimes clients come in and I mean like it's not out of like some ill intention or something, but they're like, this is to a passion project for you na, matlab nahi bhai, we work 12 hours a day. It is a passion project, but of course you want something out of it.
It's a business.
Yeah, it's a business.
Yeah.
And I feel like for women who are married, I think this is the woe, because if they pursue something of their own, which is of course a passion, oftentimes you're just told, but you don't need it, right? Like you don't need the money. Everyone needs the money. I feel like every woman should be like financially independent, and if they're working for that, there's nothing better.
True.
So I feel like this concept also, कि matlab, okay, you're doing it, but you don't need it. It's really like hurtful because you worked so hard to establish something.
Yeah.
So it really hits you like.
No, I completely agree because that's the connotation, right? If you're doing it, and if it's something that's not really stereotypically a full-fledged career, it's not really a career. That's the thought process.
Yeah, but you know, this industry is a full-fledged career because you are so drained by the end of the day and every day, because when you're catering to clients, you can't just be a robot and be like, oh, hi, I'm going to start your makeup and okay, you're done, leave. No, it's an entire process. It's very, very draining. Somebody's coming to you, you need to make them feel comfortable. You need to there needs to be like some sort of an ice breaking. You ask them how they're doing.
And also in an industry like this, you have to be consumer centric, right? Because and you have that interaction day in, day out. Speaking of season, December is here.
Yeah.
How does a December or a Jan normal day look like for you? What is it like? What is it like? Is it completely packed? Is it too busy? What is it like for you?
So it's extreme. So I think the first 2 years when I started off, I think now 2021 to ab 4 saal ho jayenge na. So I feel like first 2.5 to 3 years were extremely, I feel like this season is always exhausting, but the first couple of years is where you don't really, honestly, you don't even know how to say no because you're just like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Unfortunately, there is one season like that you have to put out you have to put out a season like that which is completely packed because you need the word of mouth. You need that. And I feel like till last year, I was really, really hard on myself in terms of my work and in terms of knowing where I need to stop. But I feel like that's just part and parcel of work. Yeah,
I think that's what makes it worth it, right?
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
The thrill of coming back and then
then being back into it. Yeah,
and I think what you've said, you've also found a method to your madness that goes around.
Yeah,
right, for that creative process and everything. So it's great that in the third year, fourth year, you've been able to now have that.
3.5 years now.
So great. So going back a little from what you've said. What advice, because now you have a much more bird's eye view of how things are rolling out, how everything is working out. What would be your advice to your, back at FPS, that student that you were, that girl putting on that tint? What would be your advice to her now that, standing in foresight, if you look at it that way? What would you say to her about how things were going to pan out, or any advice?
I think I actually whatever I would say to her right now is what actually I think she did. So that worked out. But yeah, like
Which
I
is
was
what?
which was that if you're passionate about something, enjoy it. And then if you have any thought in mind that maybe like I can do this and it's something that you can call your own, never give it a second thought. And whatever you're doing in the moment, and just enjoy it. So like I've really enjoyed teaching. I'm really enjoying makeup. And of course, like I want this to be my career for the next, I think like, I don't know, maybe even 30 years.
Wow.
But if there's something that I want to explore in the middle, and I'm really passionate about that, I won't shy away from doing it, because I feel like that instinct that you have about like something that you want to follow, I feel like it will never fail you, especially if you're good at it.
That's true. Kudos to you. That's not
Yeah.
something that comes very easy to a lot of people.
Yeah, because I feel like I said again, I feel like your support system
Yeah.
matters a lot. And that's why I feel like networking is very important. So I think that for me, the most important thing in life are especially the people around me. I have like at this since like a very, very young age, I've really invested into my friendships emotionally. And if they're supportive of you, there is no way that you're going to fail at anything that you do, because you really need that. And
You can fall
especially-
back on them.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
fall back on them. And especially for women and for anyone who's starting their own business, I feel like it's very important to invest in a network first. I mean, of course, like if your product is good, it's going to sell regardless, but you always need that cushion and you always
True.
need that buffer that, okay, on days that I'm not doing so well, because everybody has their good and bad
Of course.
days. So, yeah.
I think that's pretty solid advice, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
I just feel from what you're saying, you really need guts to be doing what you want to do, what you're enjoying. And that's
Yeah.
something I think a lot of us, maybe it comes from the kind of parenting we've all gone through or
Yeah.
something like that. But we don't, it's a tough decision, because you
Yeah.
don't want to be, like if you're doing something, changing your career path, it's not something that comes easy to us.
Yeah.
So for you to be doing that's really something that's commendable for sure.
Yeah.
And that's something we should all look up to, because if you're enjoying what you're doing, then
Yeah.
it won't feel like, something that might burn you out or
Yeah.
something you won't enjoy.
Yeah.
You were so right. And we spoke about this, I think, off camera too,
Yeah.
how at this industry is
Yeah.
looked upon as being something to wane, something
Yeah.
that's not stable, something that's,
Yeah.
people do just as a passion project.
Yeah.
So I think that is some solid advice you've given us is about financial independence, how you need to monetize it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like you've had your run, you've gone through multiple careers
Yeah.
and career choices. And for you to be saying this, it kind of solidifies how you can be studying something else and work in a different industry, but then fall back on this again if you have the passion for it.
For it,
So
yeah.
it's a very solid career choice that you can, monetize
Yeah.
and be successful in.
A lot of people also have this thing on them from their families, especially that, oh, we've invested so much into your education, तुम अब ये करोगी,
हाँ.
like,
ये पढ़ा है, अब ये
इतना
करने जा
पढ़ा
रही हो.
है और
Yeah.
मतलब यहाँ की ये इतना पढ़ा है, इतना बाहर भेजा पढ़ा, but now you want to do this. And I feel like these questions are always going to come when you're starting off. But of course, then I feel like you need to use that as your like your fuel to prove them wrong. That, listen, like, okay, fine, like this is what I'm getting out of my business, which I wouldn't have been getting out if I had made this career choice.
True.
And I feel like no degree ever like goes to like Allah maaf kare waste.
Haan.
So like, of course, there's so many things that you learn. Like if I did my master's abroad or something, like the kind of exposure that I got, and in terms of like, of course, networking and socializing, communication,
Yeah.
and also like it's weird, but it is all very correlated.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, like degrees have a name. Like, okay, this is international development and this is okay, emerging economies. But the takeaway from that is, what do you learn in terms of communicating?
True.
In terms of confidence, in terms of managing a
Exposure.
business, strategy,
Yeah.
everything is what you
Yeah.
learn from, and you can apply that to anything and everything that, of course, you decide to
And I think
start.
that exposure has really made you who you are right now. Those were some great life
Yeah,
lessons.
yeah,
And
yeah.
So a little bit more about you and your journey as a makeup artist. Are you doing weddings? Are you doing brides only? Are you doing fashion shoots? What is it like? What have you been up to?
Primarily weddings. I prefer the wedding industry more than the commercial fashion bit. Why? It's just a personal preference that I enjoy doing bridals.
Is
And
it
I
a more
don't-
emotional connect maybe that you feel?
I think emotional connect also, and I feel like that's a lot more exciting because it's a lot more personal. I feel like weddings are so personal, especially for
True.
Pakistanis. It's a huge market. I think I mentioned earlier
Yeah.
off camera that weddings are something that are never going to go out of fashion, and there has been so much outflux in terms of people leaving.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my god. But then when it comes to weddings, everyone's just back for them.
Yeah.
And be it any season and stuff, people will come back, weddings will go on. I feel like especially we have this mindset that pata nahi Pakistan mein kuch bhi ho raha ho, no matter what the situation is, people spend on weddings, people
Shaadi to
have
hogi.
weddings.
Yeah.
Shaadi hogi. And of course it's a lot personal because you get to be a part of someone's special day, whether
Yeah.
it's a bride or not. If someone is getting their makeup done for any event, it means that that event is special to them. It's great to be a part of that experience, and then of course you become a part of their of their big day.
So now first we're going to put a fun twist to what we've been doing.
Yeah.
We'll do something called Never Have I Ever. I'm
Yeah.
sure this is something you've heard of.
Yeah.
So whenever you think what I'm saying you've done it, you have, and if you
Yeah.
think you haven't, then you haven't.
Okay.
First, never have I ever skipped a class to hang out with friends. Definitely.
I have, too many times.
Yeah, too many times. Can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Never have I ever pulled an all-nighter to finish a project or a paper.
All the time.
Yeah? Last minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never have I ever cheated on a test or assignment. Oh my God.
I was one
Who's
of those,
looking?
I was one of those kids who would just be like, "Sar mein dard ho raha hai," doing this, and then the teacher would come like, yeah, I was.
Oh my God. Too many times to count?
Not too many
Okay.
times, but I've done my
A fair bit.
of like, yeah.
Never have
Not during O levels. though.
Okay.
Like just for school.
Just to be
tests.
clear.
Yeah.
Never have I ever stayed up late studying for finals and then slept through the exam.
No.
Never? No, not even at school?
No.
Oh.
Never. I've never slept through an exam. Yeah.
That would be extreme.
Yeah.
Never have I ever really said what's on my mind to a client.
Really said what's on my mind to a client. I think I
You've
have
never. So you're keeping things in.
Because really, when you want to say something to someone, you're just worried that you shouldn't. Yeah.
Is it looks or attitude? What is it usually that bothers you? Okay.
It's always the attitude. It's never it's
The makeup look or
no, it's
comments.
always the attitude during it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what really bothers you.
Never have I ever regretted my decision about my journey.
Oh, I have never.
Yeah.
Never ever. Yeah.
So enjoyed and owning all parts of it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's one thing that I'm really glad about. Yeah. No regrets whatsoever.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So at the end, I'd just like you to maybe tell us, if you were to summarize this beautiful journey that you've had, what is it that you would want to maybe tell us, or like key takeaways that you would want for people watching to know?
Key takeaway is that you have to take the leap. The more risk there is involved, the more rewarding, of course, the final result is. So you have to take the leap, and especially if it's for your financial independence and for something that you can call your own, never think twice.
Yeah.
Of course, you can rethink the way that you go about it. You can take your sweet time doing it. But I feel like it's really important to pursue your passion and also to make a business out of it and to monetize it.
Yeah.
And of course, make the switch when you want to. Nothing ever really goes to waste. So if you've done your degree and if you've specialized in something specifically, and you just feel like, okay, all of that is just irrelevant now, it never is. There are always key takeaways from everything and anything you do in life, be it professionally or academically, or even like life situations that you go through, and you can always apply that to your profession.
True.
So yeah, I feel like nothing really goes to waste. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
It was lovely having such a
Thank
meaningful
you.
conversation with you,
Thank you so
Farishte.
much. Thank
I'll
you. It
just
was
take
lovely.
thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
you
just
guys were
take a
great.
couple of minutes and we'll do something here that's called Leave Your Mark. So
Oh.
this is our beloved cup that we would really like you
That's
to
so
sign
sweet.
for us.
Yeah,
So
of
that we
course.
always have your mark with us.
Yeah. Where am I supposed to sign
So
here
just
though?
sign right here.
Okay, sure. I feel like this marker may be too light, but I hope this works.
No, it does. It definitely does. thanks, Arishita, for being here.
No, thank you so much. You guys were so lovely.
You know, I just feel the truth bombs you've dropped on us.
Yeah.
It's something that's going to resonate with a lot of us.
I'm so glad.
And we're really thankful you took out the time.
Yeah. No, of course.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Lovely
Thank
having
so
you.
much.